Let's do this. Yeah, that was pathetic. That was a pathetic loss by a pathetic team led by a pathetic coach. And everyone needs to go. It is time to clean house completely. This is unacceptable. 0-9 in the last 10 games with Trevor, 1-9 in the last 10. It's time. I don't know what Khan's waiting for at this point. Pederson needs to go. Pederson needs to go. We're going to talk about the players in a second. Don't worry. We're going to talk about the players in a second. We're going to talk about Trevor and everything in a second. But for Doug Pederson to coach that kind of game, when the defense balled down in the second half with injuries galore, and when the Texans were committing holding every other play and giving you the game, and to coach that kind of game is ridiculous. There's no other way to say it. That was a poorly coached game. There is talent on this team. Doug Pederson has no idea what to do with it. I don't even know where to start with Pederson and everything he did during this game. I don't know where to start with the horrible, horrible decisions that he made. So, Tank Bigsby, 55-yard run in the third quarter. Great run. Great run. Like, he looked incredible. Down to the 3-yard line. Looked great. Let's give it to him again 20 seconds later when he's gassed. He's breathing for air. Let's call a run the shotgun, first and goal at the 2 with Bigsby, who just ran for 55 yards. He's gassed. And then let's do it again on second down. Then let's call a pass on third down. Keep it drawing fourth down. Which I don't have a problem with. Trevor to the hole block there. Trevor just holds block there. But run out of the shotgun on first and down like we never learned our lesson with this. We never learned our lesson. Everyone knew that the moment Bigsby didn't get it, we were not scoring on that drive. Everyone knew it. The moment that Bigsby did not get it, we were not scoring on that drive. We all knew what was happening. We all knew exactly what was going to happen. We knew how it was going to go. Because we've seen it time and time again. How many times have we seen this team collapse by the goal line? How many times under Pederson's watch? How many times have we got an almost touchdown and then it doesn't work out? We saw the Texans game last year with ETN at the goal line in Houston. We saw the Tennessee game last year at the 1-yard line on that fourth down. How many times is this going to happen? Every single time. And then the fourth quarter, Tank Bigsby was playing so well today. He was phenomenal. First quarter stepped up big time when ETN was out with a shoulder injury. Third quarter had a 55-yard run. Let's not give it to him a single time in the fourth. With the lead, mind you, let's not give Tank Bigsby the ball a single time in the fourth quarter. Dearness Johnson gets a carry. Yeah, because Dearness Johnson, that's the guy who won't have the ball. Tank Bigsby gets no carries. He was totally healthy. 3rd and 14. Brian Thomas not out on the field. Last I checked, he need 14 yards. You have a playmaker in Brian Thomas can open every play. Making double moves left and right. He's been phenomenal this year. Let's not have him on the field in 3rd and 14. Early in the game. Genius. 3rd and 1, let's call a pass play. 4th and 1, try a long field goal. I mean, they got the field goal at least, but I mean, the play calling was atrocious today. And for Doug Pederson to have the gall to say at the press conference that he thought that Press Taylor called a good game, he's going to defend Press Taylor till the world ends. Press Taylor could murder 10 people on the street. He would still find a way to defend the guy. With video footage, he would still find a way to defend the guy. If you think that's a good game, get out. If you think that was a good game that you called, get out. You scored 17 points against Miami. You scored 13 against Cleveland. You scored 10 against Buffalo. You scored 20 today. Would have been 13 if not for a muff punt. For all intents and purposes, you scored under 20 in all 4 games. If it wasn't for a muff punt that gave you the ball at the 2-yard line, you would be under 20. $279 million to a quarterback. All the first-round picks we spent, all the money you spent. Under 20 points in each of the 4 games on offense with this group. And you think that's a good game? You think calling passing plays on 2nd and 3rd down when you need to run the clock is a good game? You think that not getting Brian Thomas the ball and having him on the field in 3rd and 14 is a good game. You think that calling runs out of the shotgun when they never work is a good game? I mean, what are we doing here? What is this? Like, honestly, what is this? You're going to throw every player under the bus. You threw your own defensive coordinator under the bus. Saw it at halftime when you said we have to play more man. Said at halftime, what's wrong? We have to play more man. Threw your DC under the bus. You threw Trevor under the bus today. You threw a lot of these guys under the bus. You said the players that make plays. I thought press called a good game. Players that make plays. You're throwing everyone under the press. I'm sure the players love that. I'm sure the players love the fact you're just going to throw anyone under the bus to protect your boy, who has been crap at every stop in the NFL he's been at. At every single stop. I mean, this team is 0-4. Chargers made the playoffs in 92 after starting 0-4. We're not the Chargers. We have Doug Pederson. We suck. This was the best team in Jaguars history, according to Shotgun. The best team in Jags history. 0-4. 1-9 in the last 10. 0-9 with your $275 million quarterback. This is the best team in Jags history. You're going to wear the throwback uniforms next week against the Colts. You're going to wear the throwbacks next week against the Colts. Honor Tom Coughlin, who had his flaws as a front office man, but built this team into a respectable organization in the 90s and actually knew how to coach. You're going to wear the throwback unis and you're going to honor Tom Coughlin like this? You're a shell of yourself. You're a shell. This is not the team I grew up watching. This is not the team I fell in love with. This is an abusive relationship at this point. Because everyone can see the problem. Everyone can see it. And Doug has the gall to be snarky with the media and laugh in press conferences against Buffalo and respond to questions with snark and eye rolls today. I mean, it's awful. It's awful. He's the biggest problem right now. He's not the only problem, but he's the biggest problem. But today, I hate to say it today. On the field, at least, in terms of on the field, the biggest problem was Trevor. And I've never said that before. I have never uttered those words before. Usually, he's either not the problem at all, or he's part of it, but he's not the main reason or a top 3 reason. Like, you look at the game against Buffalo. Was he part of the problem? Absolutely. Was he the only problem? Not even close. The biggest problem was allowing 5 touchdowns in the first 5 drives. Which, speaking of which, I don't know why our defense craps the bed every time in the first half. I think in the last 3 games, even the last 3.5, dating back to the final drive against Miami week 1, we've gotten one stop on defense in the first half. Second half, we play fine. I don't know what takes so long to get the adjustments, but that's beside the point. Trevor Lawrence, he's getting worse. We brought Doug Pederson in because he would be helpful in Trevor's development. There's no development right now. He's getting worse. Is he better than was year 1? Absolutely. He's not playing at the high level. He's not playing at $275 million level. He's not playing at rename the stadium level. And again, Doug willing to throw Trevor under the bus. You saw in the if you listen to the audio of the game, you saw the sideline report that said where Doug was talking about Trevor was like he tries to do too much. Throw him under the bus. Yeah, throw everyone with press under the bus. Throw everyone with press. But Trevor, the pocket presence just not there. The spin moves. Where did he learn the spin move of his? Where did he learn this spin move? It's not working. And every time he make a play in a big spot, he either takes a sack or throws it well out of bounds or misses his guy. I mean, there were a few plays here that should have been huge gains. Had a scene with Brian Thomas. Throw it to the wrong shoulder. Had a post pattern. I think it was Kirk. On that one. Had a post pattern. Easy touchdown. Nope. Overthrown. Trevor missed guys. And that's concerning to me. Because the one thing I've never said about Trevor Lawrence before was that he was inaccurate. I've never said that before about Trevor. Trevor, I've always said, if you let him be him, and you give him a clean pocket, and you give him time, and the offensive line did their job today. The offensive line, to their credit, actually protects him today. But I always said, give him time, give him a pocket, you have receivers that know what they're doing, not running the same route. he's going to hit the throws. His problem is other stuff, trying to do too much, trying to force windows when it's not there, trying to play hero ball. But he's never been one to miss open guys, and he missed open guys. He's not the same that he was before the injury. He's not the same he was second half of 22. I don't know what this Trevor Lawrence is, but this is not the guy right now. Now, am I worried about Trevor? I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. With his coaching staff right now, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. He's not a bust. He's not super bad. He's not good. Right now, he's not good. I can sit here and say he's good right now. And I can sit right now and say that he's good. And after watching that performance today and seeing all the missed touchdowns he had and all the missed opportunities, there were moments where he looked like Trevor. There were moments where he looked good. I mean, that 34-yard pass to Brian Thomas was great. That 34-yard pass in the third quarter, Brian Thomas, oh, that was money. But then you see all the wide-open passes he missed today with no pressure and with no excuses and with tons of separation. I'm concerned. I'm not going to lie. I'm concerned. I had a feeling the season would start 0-4. I had a feeling. This was the gauntlet. This was the gauntlet of the schedule, and to have it happen like this. Now, there's not saying one's the positives today. There were positives. Obviously, Tank Bigsby looks good. Cam Little made some nice kicks today. Logan Cook played like Logan Cook. I will say Bobby Brown, very good. Buster Brown, I should say. I was thinking the singer for a second. Wish I could do a Bobby Brown concert instead of watching the Jaguars play for the next 14 weeks. Buster Brown looked very good. Buster Brown has stepped up big time. I think, yeah, Campbell Brown on the outside, and I'll take that. I will say Ventrell Miller, that was one of the best games by a Jags linebacker I've seen in quite some time. He needs to be in the starting lineup. Ventrell Miller looked great. He was going side to side. I think he had like 3 or 4 tackles at the line of scrimmage or for a loss. He looked phenomenal. There were some positives, obviously. But nothing's going to change unless Doug Pederson is out. This is a man that has no idea what his team's identity is. This is a man who doesn't know how to coach. A man who doesn't know what to do in certain situations. A man who no one has improved under as of late. A man who was brought in for one purpose and has failed that purpose this year. A man who is willing to throw everyone under the bus, except for his offensive coordinator, who he's letting call plays for some reason. A man who has let good coaches and good talent walk out the door, like Jim Bob Cooter, to protect his guy and Press Taylor. This is a man who has no business running a football team. This is a man who is taking this team backwards and backwards. I don't know any business where you can go 1-9 in a 10-game stretch. If you can be successful 10% of the time, when you're expected to be good, when the owner says this is the best we've ever been, and you have a success rate in your last 10 instances of 10%, I don't know how you can sit here and not make changes. Because the season's a wash already. This season is a wash already. I mean, CBS Premier Week, they've been advertising that like crazy. All these new shows, CBS Premier Week. We're going to be out of it before CBS Premier Week. Now, that should be a benchmarker. That should not be a benchmarker, but that just shows you how pathetic this team is right now. And there is not any inspiration right now, anything that leads me to believe that Pederson is the guy who can turn this thing around. Nothing. What there is, for me, is with the talent on defense and Trevor, if he improves, and the talent we have on offense and pieces and whatnot, that we can get a good coach and run it back and be okay. But with Pederson, nothing's going to change. With Pederson, how many times are we going to make the same mistakes every single game before we make a change? The sad part is we should be 2-2. The sad part is we call good plays down at the goal line. ETN doesn't fumble the ball. We win against Miami. We win against Houston. I don't think that's asking too much. But because of bad coaching and bad game planning, you fall behind the 8 ball every single week on defense because you don't know what to do anything in the first half. It's like you don't know that everyone's hurt on defense, so you try playing defense they have right now. The middle field's open every single time. You only change later. And then the offensive play calling, obviously terrible. I mean, it's... I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't want to see 13 more games of this scrap. I really don't. I don't want to see 13 more games of this. on paper, schedule gets a bit easier. Yeah, Colts, Bears, Pats. But let's go for what it is. We're 32 in the power rankings right now. Maybe 31, maybe 30, because the Pats don't look good at all. I don't know how they beat the Bengals. But you can't look at this Jags team and say they're not a bottom 3 team right now. At the end of the day, 1-9 last 10, 0-4 this season. You are what your record says you are. And right now, our record says that we suck. And Shaka Khan can say all he wants that this was the best team ever assembled in Jaguars history, which is insulting, by the way. Considering the fact that it was a 14-2 team that got the number 1 seed and beat every team at Tennessee. Yeah, this is the best team ever assembled. Yeah. You know your history. You're going to buy a team. All that money, you can't learn your history for 2 minutes. So that means either one or two things. Either Shah Khan is clueless in terms of he genuinely thought this was the best team ever and he knows nothing and should sell the team to someone who does. Or he's right. This is the best team ever and they're not getting the results. And you got to point to the man in charge, make some wholesale changes and get rid of Pederson. But either way, when you say this is the best team ever and you start 0-4, something's got to change. Something has to change. And I hope to God it happens soon. And by soon, I mean right now. Every day Pederson is still with the Jaguars is another day wasted. It's another day wasted off my life. It's another day wasted off Trevor's development. It's another day wasted as a fan, another day wasted as an organization. This team's not going anywhere, Doug. It's not going anywhere, Doug. It's just not. Trevor's getting worse. Doug is not showing any leadership abilities whatsoever. Not at any point in the game. I think that's the sad part. With all the high-scoring offense in the NFL and college and all the comebacks, $207 million quarterback, at no point during that game did I ever think we were going to win. The only time I thought that, I only thought it one time. That was when Bigsby was on the run from 55 yards. Because I didn't think there was a safety back there. When I saw no safety, I was like, okay, we might actually win this game. And the safety came in, made the tackle at the 4, and I'm like, nope, we're not winning. When you're up by 3, you're up for most of the second half, and at no point I'm like, we're going to win. Yeah. That's when you know. That's when you know. This feels like 2016 all over again. And 2016 was the worst year in franchise history for me. 21 was bad. 21 was bad, don't get me wrong. 2016 was the worst, most painful, most soul-crushing year for me in Jaguars history. And this feels like 2016 all over again. And I do not want 2016 all over again. This team needs changes right now. And Doug, you need to get out. Doug, and take press with you. Just promote McCoy for the rest of the season, and we'll figure it out from there. Doug, you got to go. You just have to go.